everyone, welcome to Minimal Mindful Mama. Today we're going to be talking about everything that you need to know to start creating and curating a wardrobe that expresses your style and who you are as a person, all while using sustainable secondhand pieces. I'm Katie Mixon and I love sharing tips to help other busy moms to simplify their lives and live more intentionally. A huge way to simplify is by creating a closet full of clothing that fits you and that you love and feel comfortable in. As moms, oftentimes our bodies change or fluctuate over a rapid period of time, and so many of us end up with closets full of clothing that don't fit or that we don't like or that aren't comfortable anymore or that don't suit our current lifestyles. So paring those things down to only what fits currently and works for our lifestyle is so important, but sometimes that can be a little bit daunting if you don't have the budget to replace the items that don't fit well with new things that do. Sometimes if you decluttered all your jeans that didn't fit, you would only have one pair left. And if you're not able to go out and spend the money on a whole new wardrobe, sometimes it feels easier to just keep those pieces that aren't great and don't make you feel good about yourself. But there is a way that you can work towards a closet that you will feel good in. It just will be a little bit more slow and a little bit more precise, but it will be much more intentional and you'll probably be much happier with the end results. So in today's video, I'm going to go through all of the information and how to build this and how to curate this wardrobe that you'll feel great in. It'll probably be a bit longer of a video, so you can skip through and watch the sections that currently apply to you, and then revisit the video as you complete each step so that you can build a beautiful curated wardrobe. Before we begin, be sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel down below. It helps me out so much when you do so, and I really appreciate every like and subscription. So the first thing that you're gonna do is declutter your wardrobe. There's several ways to go about this. You can begin by just taking a look at what's in your closet, and if there's things that you know don't fit or that you don't like or that aren't comfortable for you to wear for an entire day without changing, you can go ahead and remove these things immediately. If you have those things that pop to the forefront of your mind and you know you want to get rid of those, get them out. But then there's a lot of trickier pieces that maybe you're not sure about. So if this is the case for you, I'd encourage you to instead do something like a reverse declutter. So instead of pulling out items that you want to get rid of, take a look at your closet and take out the items that you immediately see and they're things that you know you look good in and they're things that you know you would reach for if it was clean and in your closet. Pull out your top most favorite options. Lay all of these out on your bed or another area, and leave everything in your closet that is more of an iffy or a maybe. This can help you to categorize in a lot of different ways. First, it can help you to see what items you would want to reach for. Maybe you've been feeling really good in sweaters. Maybe you have that pair of jeans that just fits you so well and you always reach for it. It can help you to see what pieces you feel good in and what things maybe you aren't as confident wearing. It can also help you to see what colors you choose on a daily basis. Maybe you have a certain color of sweater that you just always feel amazing in, and you have other colors, but they just don't inspire quite the same confidence. Take note of this. You could write it down if you want. You could make a little color palette on Pinterest or on Canva, because noticing the colors that you gravitate towards that are already in your closet is gonna help you later. These favorite items will also help to give you an idea of your style. Try to determine what kind of a style your favorite items fall into. Are they more classic, clean-cut looks, like tailored blouses or suits or blazers? Are they more boho? Are they more casual, athleisure type of items? Only looking at your favorite pieces that you've pulled out, see if you can kind of fit those items into a style category. Now, it's possible that your style has more to do with what you like. For example, your favorite clothing might simply reflect your favorite color. Or maybe your favorite clothing is graphic t-shirts of your favorite band. If this is the case, you don't need to categorize that as your particular style, because maybe you have a lot of band t-shirts and it's not your preferred style, but it's easy to reach for and you know you like those and they're comfortable, and so that's what you end up wearing. Notice patterns and prints. Do they tend to be floral or more bold patterns like plaids or stripes? Do they have high contrast? Do they have a large print on them or a smaller, like little polka dots or little flowers? And notice the contrast. Are your prints bright and bold or black and white, or are they more muted, similar colors? Once you've noted all of these things about your most favorite items, now it's time to look at those items left in your closet that weren't your immediate no's, but also weren't your immediate yeses. So using your notes from your most favorite items, let's take a look at your iffy pieces in your closet. First, let's evaluate these pieces as a whole. Are there certain things about these items that deviate from the notes that you took about your favorite items? Maybe you tend to wear a lot of blazers and suit pants, and there's more floral feminine items that you don't reach for as much. Or maybe they're different colors than your favorite pieces that you pulled. So try to notice what's different about the remaining items. Is it the colors? Is it the patterns or prints? Style or cut? Noticing these things will help you to determine if these items are your style or if there's something else about them that makes them not your favorites. If there's something else about them that makes them not your favorite items, try to determine what that is and write it down. Is it a fit issue? Maybe you have that pair of pants that you loved, but they just don't fit quite right anymore, and maybe a different size would suit your current body better. Maybe you're holding on to them because you're hoping to lose that last 10 pounds and fit back into your favorite jeans. Maybe you have an item that you love, but it's just really itchy and you can't stand wearing it for very long periods of time. Maybe you have a dress or skirt that's just a little too short, or a top that's a little too low cut and you're not quite comfortable with. Evaluate these pieces and try to determine what makes them not your favorite. And if there's something that you really wish that you were comfortable in, then determine what it is that you like about that piece as well. This will help you determine which of these pieces to maybe let go of and which to try and replace. If you have a sweater that you love but it's just really itchy, take a look at the tag and write down what kind of a fabric it is. Then if you have another sweater that's very comfortable, look at its tag and see what kind of a fabric it's made of. Personally, I found that I really enjoy cotton sweaters. They tend to be the least itchy and I enjoy wearing them the most. Cotton blends are also okay. As you're looking at fabric types, keep in mind that cotton, linen, wool are natural fabrics, which means that they're made from plants or from animals. Whereas if you see fabrics such as acrylic or polyester, those are just other words for types of plastic. A lot of times they use acrylic or polyester or spandex or plastic in fabrics to improve the texture or to make it more stretchy. So sometimes you'll see a blend. But it's worth taking note of what fabrics you enjoy wearing on your skin and which ones you find don't work as well for your body. Once you've decluttered everything that you'd like to declutter, it's time to take note of what you have left. Starting with your most favorite items that you pulled, you can add in some of those items that you decided to keep that weren't necessarily your favorites to build out your wardrobe. So think about how often you do laundry and how many outfit choices you would like to have. Try to pair things together in a way that you can mix and match items. But this can also help you because if you notice that you have 25 sweaters and one pair of jeans, you might realize that you want to get a few more pairs. Or maybe you have a couple tops and 25 pairs of jeans and you can let go of a few of those pairs that didn't make your top favorites because you have so many. Once you have your closet completely pared down and you have a list of the items that you are wanting to add to your closet, it's not yet time to shop. Now it's time to do some more research. So if you haven't yet determined what your personal style is, but maybe you did notice some things about your favorite items, such as colors that you enjoy wearing, this is a great time to try to determine what styles you're drawn to. Pinterest is a great tool. You can go on and you can look at different outfit ideas and just save everything that you're drawn to. Then as you go through these pictures and outfit inspirations, you can kind of try to pull them apart and determine what things you notice a pattern in, whether it's colors or prints, or maybe you do begin to see a little bit of a style pattern emerge. There's also a lot of methods for determining what will suit you the best. So for example, there's a method based on your body type that determines if you're an hourglass, an apple, a pear, and what kinds of things will suit those kinds of body types better. There's another one that has more to do with your bone structure. There's also color seasons. So if you're interested in determining if you're in autumn or a deep winter, you can refer back to those favorite items in your closet and the color palette that they were. And that can kind of help to guide you in the right direction in determining what your ideal palette would be. Typically, the pieces that we feel the most confident in tend to align with our color palettes. There's also the high contrast or low contrast method, where you take a look at your hair and your eyes and your skin tone and determine if you're a high contrast person or a lower contrast person. And that's another method people use to inform their decisions about what kinds of clothing and patterns that they should wear. All of these things are going to come together to create your personal style, which is going to include the level of contrast you prefer, the colors, patterns, and prints that you prefer, the cut of the clothing you prefer, the fabrics that you most like to wear, and how you want to portray yourself to the world. So for example, I have dark hair and dark eyes and lighter skin. So that makes me a high contrast type of person. So typically I've noticed since learning about this that I definitely think that I tend to look better in clothing that has more of a contrast. So for example, I have the dark sweater and then the light cardigan on top, which creates higher of a contrast. I also enjoy when I do a monochromatic outfit, so if I do all one color, that's fine as well. But I've noticed that if I do, say, these light wash kind of jeans and then beige colored sweater, that it doesn't provide that contrast, and I don't feel like I look my best without that color contrast. I can also achieve the contrast by using bolder patterns or prints or colors. And it holds true with my favorite pieces, because some of my most favorite pieces in my closet do have really bold, bright patterns. I also really enjoy floral prints, and so I definitely have that kind of a romantic boho feel to some of my wardrobe. Things like this cardigan that are very kind of romantic and soft and cozy feeling. However, I also really enjoy clean, classic, elegant lines. And I think that this is because I am a shorter, curvier woman. And so adding those slightly more masculine feeling pieces, such as a blazer or a button-up, really help to create some balance.
So for example, I have this blue floral tiered skirt, and last Easter I wore it with this lacy, really feminine cream top that you see on the left hand side, but I actually think that on me it looks better on the right hand side with a more tailored, clean line look. I think this look balances out the outfit more on me than the more feminine on feminine look on the left hand side.
Now, were I a larger, bigger boned woman, I think I would lean much harder into the soft feminine details. So currently I enjoy pairing those feminine florals with the stronger, cleaner lines, and I feel like that creates a good balance with my body type. If you have an even more feminine body type, perhaps you're very small and feminine looking, maybe leaning more into the clean lines will create that balance for you. And if you are larger and have a more masculine body type, wearing extra feminine details, for instance, like a lace Peter Pan collar or something, might be really flattering on you and give you the balance that you're looking for. So playing around with these different ideas of contrast and balance, as well as delving into your color palette, is well worth the time and research to curate exactly your style and what you're looking for. Now, I do want to add that you don't have to only wear the things that people say are what's correct for your body type. If you really enjoy wearing your favorite color and it's not technically the correct palette for you, Confidence is what it ultimately comes down to. So if you feel really confident in something, that's going to be clearly visible to everyone around you. And as much as wearing the correct color might be technically what you should do, if you're not confident in it, that's actually not going to look as good. So while it is definitely worth looking into these theories, ultimately they're to serve as a guide to help you determine what you like and what you enjoy wearing and what you will feel the most confident in. If you notice that a lot of your favorite pieces are simply your favorite, not because you necessarily love them, but because you feel like they hide problem areas well, then this is definitely worth the extra work and time that it's going to take to put into it. Maybe you live in athleisure because it's comfortable and it's easy and it's not actually your style, but you don't feel exposed and it's easy. Or maybe you have a bunch of graphic t-shirts and you wear them because they're big and baggy and they make you feel good, even though the reason that they make you feel good is actually because of what they hide. I think this is worth determining because if you truly love it and it's your style, you can definitely incorporate those items in a way to showcase that and to celebrate it. But if these items aren't actually your style and are just a way to hide yourself, then you don't necessarily have to incorporate them as long as you can find other things that do bring you confidence. For example, in springtime, I really love the color sky blue. To me, it's just the perfect spring color. But I found that I don't feel confident when I wear those spring pastels. I don't think that they work as well with my skin tone. I don't feel nearly as confident in them as I do in the autumn colors or in the bright reds and deeper colors in winter. So one way that I've found that I can incorporate a color that I love and that makes me feel happy and still feel good in it is that I got this blue floral skirt. In this way, I'm able to incorporate it into my outfit without it being right next to my face, and I can pair it with another item on top that suits my color palette a little bit better so that it can contrast well with a skirt. I can incorporate a color that I like, but I can also feel confident in the outfit as a whole. Spring is literally the only time of year that I would ever reach for a pastel color. And it's also the only time that I desire to wear blue. Other than jeans, the only blue that I ever reach for is more of a bright royal blue. I do have a dress that I really enjoy wearing that's that kind of a bright blue color. But typically my palette is red, pinks, oranges, black, and greens. So all of this information that you've collected about your style is gonna help you now when you go to shop. There may be a few pieces that you decide to invest in purchasing new. I'd suggest that if you're going to buy something new, that these are pieces that you intend to last for a long time and that you make sure when you're purchasing it that you get the right size and that it fits you really, really well. If there's anything about it that feels like you're not sure if it's the right piece, then don't invest in that one. When you're gonna purchase something new, make sure that it's something that you absolutely love, that fits you really, really well and can last you for years to come. For some of the filler items, it can be really fun to shop secondhand. It can also be a great way to find specific pieces that maybe you already have and love. For instance, if you have a favorite pair of jeans, you can probably find a pair used that's the exact same pair. I love using places like ThredUp, which is the world's largest online thrift store, or Mercari or Poshmark or other ones. Facebook Marketplace can be hit or miss, or you can shop your local thrift store. It does take some treasure hunting sometimes to find good items, but it's so exciting when you do find them. You can save searches on some of those apps for specific brands or sizes. So if you had a favorite pair of jeans that maybe fit great before and aren't the right size now, you can actually save a search for that same brand in the size that you need and set it so that you'll get notified when that piece becomes available. Or maybe there's an item that you saw on Pinterest that you noticed was pinned in multiple different outfits and you're looking for that specific kind of an item. This is another scenario where it's great to go on ThredUp and to save a search that's for that specific item, and you can begin to put together a list of the things that you're going to be looking for. Then as you're thrifting, keep this list in mind, not only of the pieces that you are needing, but also of the colors you're looking for, the patterns you're looking for. This way, when you see them on the rack, they'll kind of jump out at you, and it'll be much easier to shop than looking at each item individually. Another thing that I find is really helpful is teaching yourself some mending skills or sewing or embroidery. I have a bad habit of keeping my phone and keys in my back pockets of my jeans on a daily basis, and so I always end up with holes in my back pockets. It would be really frustrating because I would have jeans that I loved and fit great, but they would have these ugly holes in the back pockets. But I didn't really want to throw out the jeans. And so I did some research and I taught myself how to kind of stitch those holes back together and then embroider pretty flowers on top of them. I had a lot of floral embroidered jeans pinned already on Pinterest, so this was perfect for my style, and it also served a very practical purpose in extending the life of my favorite pairs of jeans. Or maybe you have sweatshirts with stains on them, and maybe you could applique some flowers or heart. I've even seen where people do lettering, like they applique letters that spell out mama on a sweatshirt. Learning how to repair and mend the clothing that you have and extend its life not only is more sustainable and much more budget friendly, but also can create a beautiful new item that really can reflect your personal style so much more than any generic item from a store.
I used to think that there were factories where they just made all the clothes using these big giant machines, and that was why clothing was so affordable nowadays. But I actually made a whole other video about this and how all of the clothing is actually made by people, and so they're using sewing machines and things like that to aid in it. But fabric is actually really hard to make into clothing using just a machine, and so people are involved in every step of the process. And so that was a huge realization for me when I realized that it's not just all made by machines, and that people are actually involved in the process and getting paid very, very little to be able to turn out these $5 t-shirts. I think most Americans are probably like me and think that clothing is just made by big machines, but the more that I've learned about it, the better that I want to do. And so I want to support brands that pay their workers well, or shop secondhand so that I'm not contributing to fast fashion and to all these new products being cheaply made that are damaging the environment and that are exploiting the workers. And so now I try to do most of my shopping secondhand, and then if I'm gonna buy a new piece, I try to find something that's ethically made.
Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed today's video. I hope that you learned a lot and are excited to create and curate a wardrobe that you will love. So that when you get dressed every morning, it feels so simple and easy, and you can approach your day with confidence without having to start your day off stressing about what to wear. Before you go, I would love it if you like and subscribe down below. It helps my channel out so much. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you very soon in the next video.